Welcome back to LEGO Wars and Heat D of the series. Last time out we saw our first seed quite literally take a tumble out of the competition in Mecha Bowser while Atlas clung on to a berth in the bracket. This week it's the 7th seed 23 Red's time to shine after a brilliant debut season last year making the top 8. They are joined by the super subs, the 18th seed's Crontcront, who recently backed up their top 16 performance last year with a surprise run to the international final. Let's see who else will join the mean green duo tonight.
First, from Hinkley in season number 7, 23 Red.
The dual spinner had an impressive debut last year, securing most destructive on the way to the top 8 and should be on top by the end of tonight.
From Glasgow in season number 18, Krakensflow.
The 4-bar was one of the heroes of Series 3, breaking out from the reserves to the top 16, although as seen in their international run, the armour could hold them back.
From Blackburn, Torquay Toaster.
Given that God is infinite, and the universe is also infinite, would you like any toast? 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 Would you like any toast?
No toast!
From Norwich, Ganymede.
The new verse on the block enters the war zone, hoping to use the lessons learned from Diddler and Payne to rip through the field tonight.
From Cossey, Block Lobster.
The crustaceans scraped through to the bracket last year and were banking on their upgraded flipper to ensure a smoother run. Let's crack on with the first fight of the night and we go straight in with the spinners as 23 Red faces Ganymede.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
A pair of very scary spinners here. Ganymede, the pink machine, first to move out of its starting zone. A frightening looking newcomer, isn't it, with that very awesome looking vertical flywheel, but they've got a real treat of a battle here because they're going up against 23 Red, the twin spinning disc machine there in the green in the centre, spinning around madly. They made it to the top 8 in the last wars, seeded 7th for this series of LEGO Wars and already causing damage to Ganymede, ripping off one of those front wedgelets. Now, that will hinder Ganymede's ability to get underneath their opponent here. And has that flywheel up there stopped spinning? It appears to have done so. The 23 Red now gets their green flywheel spinning up to speed. Ganymede, I think, is weaponless already, going for the pit button and presses it. Down goes the pit. Another hit there from 23 Red, who are by far on top at this moment, in my opinion. They've had the more effective weapon for certain. They've got the only moving weaponry at the moment as well. Ganymede, an impressive looking newcomer here, but they've already discovered a few wrinkles that need to be ironed out, I think, in their machine, in their design. It didn't take long for that flywheel of theirs to fail, unfortunately. It'll be nice to see them hopefully get it up and running better later on in this heat, but at this rate, I think they're going out here. It's just really a question of whether it goes to the judges or whether it will be a KO. Although Ganymede's spinner is trying to spin up and more damage being done there to the flywheel. It has started spinning again. I think it got jammed at one point, but now it's outbalanced. Look, it's unbalanced. And that means that they're going to have very, very difficult control throughout the rest of this. And they've lost the wheel as well. And this is why 23 Red made it to the top 8 last time around. It is such a destructive machine. Yes, they've taken a little bit of damage. You can see some bits of green armor on the floor as well. But Ganymede has certainly been on the receiving end of all the major damage in this fight. Look at that, they've lost a wheel, their weapon's been absolutely obliterated, they've lost side panels, and it's only now really a question of damage limitation and how long Ganymede can last out there. At the moment, they are looking at potentially getting to the judges. I don't think they're going to do very well in that judge's decision, but if they can make it to the judges, that is a guaranteed 1 point towards them. And they desperately will need that 1 point at this rate. 23 Red, they seem to think they've already won it by the looks of things. Spinning on the spot, doing a little bit of a celebratory victory dance almost. Something went flying across the arena there. What was that, I wonder? A little bit of shrapnel, a little bit of piece coming off once again off of Ganymede there. They really are having problems with that spinner of theirs. We're in the final 10 seconds, and fair play to Ganymede. They have managed to survive to the judges, or potentially they have. They've got 5 seconds to the last. They're going to do it. But for me,
6.
That's an open and shut case for 23 Red. Brilliant start to their campaign, and Ganymede will be disappointed with that. What a return for the number 7 seeds, 23 Red. Those destructive flywheels, absolutely terrifying, tearing the newcomers limb from limb. Yes, they suffered a little bit of damage themselves here and there, but for the most part, that was all 23 red. They tore off Ganymede's wheel. They did severe damage to the flywheel here, look. And after that, it was only really a question of how long Ganymede would last. Fair play for them to making it to the judges, but for me, it's 23 red.
And the winner, by unanimous decision, is 23 red. A strong start by 23 red, but that lack of KO power is showing signs again as they only take 2 points. Next up is our two play-in winners from last year, Block Lobster and Crontcront, and a first chance to see the latter's new mini-bot.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Now take a look there, that little machine there that was the first to move off of its starting point. That there is Squire, which is Crontcront's new mini-bot. I guess Crabantine no
Please
longer
come
wants to be
again.
associated with the Swedes. Block Lobster has already lost one of its claws. That's a great start to their campaign, isn't it? The pit button has been pressed courtesy of Squire. Block Lobster being pushed away by the mean green fighting machine known as Krakensflow. She did 18th for this tournament. They did reasonably well last year. They also came second in the International Championships earlier this year, representing Sweden, of course. So, lots of potential there for them. Block Lobster never really had much success in the past, sadly. They made it to the round of 32 last time around! Lost the panic attack there, but a good little flick on Squire. Meanwhile, one of Crontcront's side panels has also come loose. Could Block Lobster cause a big surprise here? Because so far for me, they are on top at this moment in time. I'm wondering if the four-wheel drive of Squire and Crontcront together could get the Lobster into the boiling pot known as the Pit of Oblivion. That'll probably be their main tactic. Block Lobster trying to get rid of Squire, I think, here. Seeing Squire as one of those sort of like irritating little mini-bots that seems to do all the main work for their big brother. Certainly has been the more effective of the two thus far. Off comes Crontcront's front face panel as well. Crontcront's not having much luck out there at the moment. Seeded, don't forget, out of these two machines. Favoured to do well after their international performance earlier on this year. Squire slamming into the side there of Block Lobster. Backing up for another slam, or is it? Not really too sure what's going on there. What's happening here to Block Lobster? Are they stuck? Are they in trouble? One of those wheels is turning. Yes, I do think they are still just about mobile. I'd say Crontcront is slowly but surely coming back now. And by Crontcront, I of course mean Squire, considering Squire's doing all the work. Come on, Crontcront, do something! What are you doing? Oh! Block Lobster very close to throwing itself down the pit. That would have been foolish. They've done a lot of hard work to get this far so far. And they got Squire over, but Squire is an invertible machine. That's at least done them some good. Now, can Krakensflow take advantage of this position they have with Block Lobster? They are very, very, very slowly lifting them up. What on earth is Squire doing? What, are they throwing themselves into the screws? Why are they doing that? That's not in the rules, lads. You're not meant to take yourselves out. You're meant to take your opponents out. That's a little bit better now. Coming in on Block Lobster and trying to get it towards the pit. Krakensflow crawling along. Now, they didn't have those issues in the International Championship earlier this year, but they seem to be coming back to plague them for this, the main competition,
6.
but it doesn't matter. Block Lobster in the pit, and Krakensflow secures itself 3 points, just barely. Well, that fight was a little bit all over the place, wasn't it? Block Lobster took damage almost immediately, losing one of its claws, but then Krakensflow lost a side panel. Squire got flicked around a little bit as well. But for me, the two four-wheel drive machines, the dream team, I guess you could say, were on top throughout the majority of that battle. Good little flick here on Squire by Block Lobster. That was awesome. But unfortunately, lack of control really did let them down. I thought it was going to let Squire down at first. But then, Block Lobster threw themselves down.
Block Lobster did what they could, but it's teamwork that makes the dream work for Cront and Squire as they go top. Next up is breakfast time for 23 Red as they look to smash through Torquay.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Thoughts and prayers for Torquay Toaster. I'm sure we can all agree they have got a huge mountain to climb here as they take on 23 Red, a machine that's already shown us how destructive it can be and has already torn off one of the front panels. Oh, Torquay Toaster, and there goes the toast. Now, to be fair to Torquay Toaster, it is renowned for being a machine that can take an awful amount of punishment, and they've gone for the pit button. Oh! The rear fin went flying there, but they must be confident they could potentially get 23 Red down the pit. I don't think so, guys. I think you're toast, quite literally here. Pun very much intended. We're about to see what a Torquay Toaster looks like after an incident with a 14-pound lump hammer, I think. They took a lot of damage in the last wars and they kept going though. I don't remember who they were up against, but they got absolutely splattered then. So obviously they can take those hits. And is it me or were they on the attack there? Or was 23 Red just being a little bit kind and giving them a chance? Oh, more damage being done. Another front panel gets torn away. The lifter currently remaining intact. Oh, but more damage and more bits of toaster littering the LEGO Wars arena. This is what we live for in LEGO Wars, destruction and carnage. And we get it in spades whenever 23 Red enters the arena. More damage being done. But just look at Torquay Toaster. This is what I mean. It just doesn't give up. It's so resilient, despite the fact that half of its bodywork is already splattered across the arena floor. They're still coming in on the attack on 23 Red. Oh, more damage being done to the side of Torquay Toaster. I'm not too sure we're going to get subtitles in this show, but right now, if there were for Torquay Toaster, it would probably be going something along the lines of, ow, 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 I want my mother, although 23 Red on the verge of the pit and nearly went down. We were on the verge of one of the biggest upsets of the series so far there. 23 Red, what are you doing? They backed themselves towards the pit. Torquay Toaster have done it!
6.
I don't believe it! Torquay Toaster have just secured themselves 3 points. No, I'm done. I'm done. Well, the apocalypse is certainly upon us because Torquay Toaster just got a KO victory against 23 Red. I am speechless. Well, not quite speechless. If I was speechless, I would be a pretty awful commentator because then you wouldn't hear me say anything. Sorry, I'm rambling because my brain has turned to mush. How on earth did that happen? 23 Red tearing Torquay Toaster limb from limb, bits and pieces going flying everywhere. They nearly got them in the pit there. I thought that was a close call, and then 23 Red get themselves stuck on the edge, and Torquay Toaster just nudged them in.
I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but Torquay Toaster is now topping the heat. They will need some repair time after that brave display, so while they get a big breakfast, it's the 2 robots currently propping up the table, Ganymede and Lobster, next into the arena.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Both these machines looking for a win here. Lobster currently sitting with 0 points on the board. Meanwhile, Ganymede has 1 point due to that judge's loss earlier on. Lobster underneath Ganymede and nearly flicking it over. Now that would have been a first. Lobster actually flipping an opponent over. It would have been a minor miracle, but hey, they happen, don't they? Let's be honest now. Ganymede trying to bring that spinner into play. I'm wondering how much damage was done to them earlier on, where they've managed to knock off Lobster's face, but other than that, not really managing to do much damage, although one of the claws of Lobster has now come off. Ganymede, of course, a bit of a disappointing first round battle. They did have a tough opponent, though. How well will they do here against Lobster? Lobster's flipper is just the right size and shape to manage to go into that sort of gap there underneath the flywheel and stop that flywheel from spinning up. And I'm just thinking now the team may well have noticed it. They're also going to get underneath again and trying to flick Ganymede again, but it didn't work in that occasion. Oh, goodness me! Ganymede using Lobster's face against it. Off comes another claw as well now, so that spinning flywheel certainly is working better in this battle. One of its wedges is a little bit buckled, though. In they come now, trying to hit those vulnerable wheels on the side of Lobster. Is it me, or does Lobster's flipper look a little bit wonky there, a little bit crooked? They're going for the pit button and finally getting it down. Took a while, I did think about it, but they did manage to get the pit to go down. Ganymede! Oh my goodness me! How on earth did they survive that? I thought Lobster had it then. Goodness me! What? Defying the laws of physics itself. That was fantastic there. They really did pull a performance out of this world there, Ganymede. But Lobster certainly the more aggressive at the moment. Certainly the more effective weapon, I would say, does have to go to Ganymede just because of the damage done to Lobster, courtesy of that spinning flywheel. It all once again comes down to that valuable control. And that's a little bit even Steven at the moment. Both machines tentative. Oh, one of Ganymede's wheels has come off again. I think it's not. I don't think it's the same one as last time though. Oh! Lobster's flipper. This is insane. What on earth is going on out there? It's all gone crazy. Lobster nearly flipped Ganymede over, but Ganymede just managing to stay on their wheels. Will we finally see Lobster flip an opponent over? I'm not too sure. Flipper's knackered. Ganymede's lost a wheel. It's all going on out there, and Ganymede backing into the pit.
6.
What on earth were they doing? That was terrible control. And you have to argue Block Lobster were a little bit lucky there, and certainly a little bit cheeky at the end. I honestly sometimes wonder what I've actually drunk before I do commentary for this show. What on earth happened there? Ganymede nearly flicked over twice, using Block Lobster's own face against it. It tore off one of the claws, did damage to the flipper. Ganymede somehow survived the pit there, only to then throw itself in later on. They lost a wheel for no reason. They caused severe damage to Block Lobster's flipper, and then threw themselves down the pit, because why not?
Despite driving over an open pit, Ganymede's luck ran out before time, so Block Lobster joins Torquay and Cront on 3 points. The latter can take overall lead, but they'll have to beat a determined Torquay Toaster first.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Oh, did Torquay Toaster jump the gun a little bit there? I'm not too sure. The judges might have to look at that later on. Meanwhile, Squire has a little bit of an addition added onto it for this fight. That little sort of pokey spike. They're hoping to get into the front gaps on Torquay Toaster. I think they've already succeeded in doing that. Meanwhile, Krakensflow now plucking Torquay Toaster into the air. It's a very, very slow 4-bar lifter, but it is an effective one when it works. Squire, meanwhile, keeping Torquay Toasty busy in the corner while Krakensflow lowers their flipper back down again. It is a effective duo, this. That little mini-bot has been very helpful to Krakensflow thus far. Currently, they've got 3 points on the board, the number 18 seeds. Some could argue that Craventine was the reason why they had so much success in the international special earlier on this year, so they were definitely smart in getting their own mini-bot sorted out for this series, and while it's in the rules, it is a okay thing to have as far as I'm concerned. Squire turning around, aiming for the pit, yes, no, hitting its big brother instead, not really too sure why they did that. Krakensflow underneath Torquay Toaster, lifting it into the air, trying desperately to flip it up and over. I think Torquay is a little bit too long that way, and they are indeed back on their wheels, so they have lost their rear panel, or at least part of their rear panel. So, can Torquay Toaster now get that little lifting device underneath either of its opponents here and lift one or both of them up and out? Krakensflow using that little lance to a good effect there to sort of try and guide them around. Squire nearly threw itself in the pit there. That wouldn't have been very helpful for them at all. But a good little push here by Krakensflow. And look there, now that's what I thought they might try and do. Squire and Krakensflow, both four-wheel drive machines, and they both work well together there in order to push Torquay Toaster into the screws. Oh, goodness me, I thought for a minute there Squire were going to dump themselves down the pit. Krakensflow now lifting Torquay Toaster further up into those screws. That was a good tactic there actually by Krakensflow. Get them further stuck on those screws, and therefore they have more of a chance of Torquay Toaster not being able to get back down. And I think that's exactly what's happened here. They are beached, their wheels are not touching the floor. Squire having a little bit of a sniff and a little bit of a nudge, not really doing much to it. And Krakensflow know they've won this one. A victory spin indeed for the number 18 seed.
6.
That was an effective victory there. An effective teamwork from Krakensflow and Squire. Both machines now resetting themselves and having a little bit of a hug in celebration. Yeah. Torquay Toaster certainly did jump the gun, but let's be honest, it didn't really help them at all, did it? Because the other machine, Krakensflow, and his little baby brother Squire were just far too strong for it. They nearly had them up and over there. Squire got some good attacks in with that little ramming spiker there as well. And then the two machines came together here, look, and used great teamwork to push Torquay Toaster into the screws and eventually get them stuck and beached there. Very, very good win for Krakensflow. They get another 3 points.
Another KO for the Screws as Cront leaps ahead of his close group at the halfway stage. 23 Red are back in action now and need to secure that elusive KO win in the heats to ensure safe passage to the bracket, but Block Lobster will not make it easy.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
23 Red will be desperate for a win here against Block Lobster. They've only got 2 points on the board. They won by the judges earlier and then had that rather embarrassing loss to Torquay Toaster, but off comes one of Block Lobster's claws. Oh wait, both of them have come off! Both of the claws have come off and the face as well! 23 Red means business in this battle, and I think they've done even more damage. Look, I think Yes, look, you can see there that wheel on Block Lobster has been bent and buckled and therefore cannot spin anymore. And that means that Block Lobster can't drive out of its circumference. And if it can't do that for long enough, it will be considered immobile and will be counted out. What a quick, effective KO that was from 23 Red. The number 7 seeds are not out just yet, and they are about to get themselves another 3 points. Block Lobster already on 3 points, courtesy of their KO victory of Ganymede in the last round. They're being counted out, though, here. They're not going to get any more points, and I think they've been completely KO'd now. I think that other wheel has also been buckled out of shape. That's it. Block Lobster are done for. Celebratory dance by 23 Red. Oh! And off comes the wheel as well. Cease called. Block Lobster, a flick of defeat. And 23 Red have finally woken up, it seems. That was over before it really began, let's be honest. Both of Block Lobster's claws came off almost immediately, courtesy of that very frightening red and black spinner. And then the green spinner did the major damage. Not only did it do damage to the front there, but it was there, look. That wheel got buckled, and once that got buckled, there was no hope for the Lobster after that, unfortunately. And then to add insult to injury, they destroyed the other wheel with that shot before finally taking it off once and for all. Ouch.
Legacy damage from Ganymede appears to have scuppered Lobster this time as 23 Red finally secures a knockout victory in the heats. Speaking of Ganymede, they're back in action now against the current leaders Crontcront, knowing defeat will take them out of contention.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Krakensflow will certainly be the favourites here. They were the quicker off the mark there for sure. Not only are they seeded, but they've currently gone undefeated in this heat. Ganymede, meanwhile, have been a bit disappointing, the newcomers. We were certainly expecting more damage and destruction from that flywheel, but it hasn't come along just yet. Squire and Krakensflow trying to use that little bit of teamwork that we're used to. Oh, but some damage! Oh, goodness me! It's been done not only to the Squire, but to Krakensflow as well. One of the front wedges has come off. The lance is gone, and the side panel's been completely ripped away. Are we going to finally see Ganymede do the damage we were promised and expected earlier on? Oh, Squire being sent flying, the minibot. They've taken damage. Krakensflow's front. Oh, it's on the side panels come up as well. Squire's little poking spike of doom and death is still going, although the wheels are certainly taking damage. Can they hit the pit button? They're trying desperately. I think those wheels on that side have locked up, though, or have they? I'm not too sure. Squire certainly hasn't got full control anymore. Krakensflow pinning Ganymede into the side wall. Squire on the verge of the pit. Not really helping out his big brother in this fight. I don't think it can. And it's gone down the pit now. So Krakensflow is now a lone wolf. Doing a good job, though, keeping Ganymede at bay, but now taking damage. And more punishment. What was that? Was that a little bit of a hit around their head for baby brother? For letting him down, I think so. Krakensflow's top panels have also been splattered. The weapon, I think, has also become slightly disconnected. I think the chassis has become twisted and warped. Ganymede threw itself into the side. Well, that wasn't great control. Though, I'll be honest, I don't think the judges really care about that at the moment. I don't even think it's going to go to the judges at this rate. Good little push there, though, by Krakensflow, trying to get that lifter working. So it is still capable of getting the lifts in. But can it get those lifts in effectively, or has Ganymede done enough damage to it in order to secure themselves a victory? They are desperate for a victory. They currently sit with just 1 point on the board. And if they can get a good KO victory here, that will get them a good solid 4 points in the making. That spinner, when it works, is frightening. And Ganymede has been very, very effective in this battle. It's a shame it took this long. Is it too little too late, I wonder, for Ganymede? Or will they make enough points to survive and potentially go into the top 32 bracket at the end of the series? Oh, more damage being done to Krakensflow. Ganymede nearly pitting itself, but backing away at just the right moment there. Krakensflow's been reduced to nothing. Look at it, just the skeleton remains. It's absolutely knackered. That's the technical term for it. Absolutely knackered, but it has somehow, some way, managed to survive to the final 5 seconds of this battle, and it's going to make it to the judges. Not that it's going to take them that long to decide, I don't think. And Ganymede, this machine is terrifying. What a performance. Third time was indeed the charm for Ganymede. We finally get to see what that spinner is capable of doing. Look at that. Bits and pieces going flying everywhere. Squire had bits and pieces ripped off of it. I think Squire's chassis ended up getting twisted, hence why it threw itself down the pit. They had no more control. And without its baby brother to help it out, Crontcront got absolutely splattered. Green pieces scattering the arena. And it's surely a win here for Ganymede.
And the winner, by unanimous decision, is Ganymede. We finally get to see the potential of the vert as Ganymede near enough destroys Krakensflow to stay in contention. The leaders have time to get repairs completed before their final fight, but for now it's Torquay against Lobster in a battle that's only going to make me hungry.
Roboteers, stand by.
Where the hell is this
3,
battle when you need it?
2, 1, activate.
2 red warriors, each with a lifting device, which, let's be honest now, isn't very effective. But Lobster certainly has the quicker drive and the better control and the more aggressive nature. I say that as it reverses into the side wall because, of course, robots like to show me wrong. Although, one of those lobster claws there proving to be quite effective, managing to get underneath Torquay Toaster, and that allowed them to push it along. Now, are they stuck here? Nope, they are okay. It did take Lobster to drive into the screws to get them off, though, but we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide. All tactics. Can Lobster get them up and over? Oh, my goodness me. They very nearly flipped them over there. Oh! And Torquay Toaster are now stuck on the pit release button. Can they get down from there? Lobster going for another little flicker, and again, nearly getting Torquay Toaster over. Are we finally going to see Lobster achieve what it has yet to do and flip over a heavyweight opponent? Yes, they flipped Squire over early on in the heat, but that was a mini-bot, not a official heavyweight competitor. The pit button has been pressed by Torquay Toaster. Torquay Toaster is on the edge of the pit, and surely it will just take one little nudge, one little flick from Lobster to get the Torquay Toaster of Death down the pit. But Torquay Toaster is in good control here, managing to maneuver around the pit, but Lobster very quick was able to get around to the side and meet them there. Didn't capitalise on it though. They didn't get them down the pit. I thought with a good charge they could have potentially had them in the pit there, to be honest. Using those claws effectively once again though to get underneath Torquay Toaster, and again desperate to get underneath them and try and get them flipped up and over. They've proved that they can lift Torquay Toaster. The sidewall did prevent them from flipping it up and over. Torquay Toaster are on the verge. They are on the edge of the abyss. Can they get away from there, or will Lobster have them down into the bottom of the garbage disposal unit? Much like Lister did back in the classic days. That's enough Red Dwarf references, Anderson. Back to the battle. Lobster, again, not using its flipper now. Preferring, I think, to use their superior pushing power, speed, and agility to send Torquay Toaster down the pit like that. Great work there by Lobster. And they've secured another 3-point victory in this heat. I think that was one of Lobster's best performances, in all honesty. Those claws really were effective and proved to be more than just decoration. And they got 2 incredibly good flips in. That one there, which got Torquay Toaster stuck. They also achieved another one. They didn't quite get Torquay Toaster up and over, but they used superior aggression, superior driving, and superior control to get them down the pit.
The Lobster's back in contention now with that win over a very unwell looking Torquay. There's very little time for them to get any repairs done though, as their final fight is next up against Ganymede, with both robots needing a KO to stay in the competition.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So it's the penultimate battle of this heat of LEGO Wars. Ganymede driving straight into the screws. That was terrible control. And they're going to want a win here, and a good win at that, because their writing is still on the wall, and a KO win here might just be what they need to secure them enough points to go through to the bracket. Torquay Toaster is done for as far as its campaign is concerned in this series, but it would be nice to see them get a consolation point or two potentially. But at the moment, Ganymede, this machine has finally woken up. Has it come a little bit too late in this heat? Only time will tell after the next battle. All they can really hope for here is to get a good, strong, convincing win, get enough points, and then hope that 23 Red fails in the next round. Oh, huge hit there from Ganymede on Torquay Toaster. Can they do it? Can they secure themselves 3 points and bring their total to 6 here in this battle? Torquay Toaster is a reliable, durable machine that can take big hits. He got splattered by Whitehole in the last series of LEGO Wars, don't forget, and despite the fact that there was nothing left apart from 2 wheels and a little bit of base plate, they were able to last to the judge's decision somehow, some way. Can Ganymede get the pit down? Yes, it can! And Torquay Toaster was right on the edge as it went down. And surely now it's only a matter of time until Torquay is sent down to the bottom of the pit. Oh,
6.
it is. And in style as well, I must say. Ganymede using his flywheel to flick them in the air and down the pit. Ganymede get 3 points. That was a desperately needed win for Ganymede, but has it come too late? We will find out later on in this heat, of course. Torquay Toaster, they tried. That's all you can really say about it, to be honest. They took hit after hit after hit. Huge shot after huge shot. Damage after damage. Once again, Ganymede using bits of its opponent as a projectile there. And then Torquay Toaster were flicked into the pit.
The heroic run for Torquay Toaster comes to an abrupt end as Ganymede moves into third, leaving the 7th seeds in danger in the final fight of the night. Crontcront may already be through, but if 23 Red can score a KO, they can leapfrog to the top, so let's find out who's making it through.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
This is a tense battle of the seasons one. 23 Red need a win, and a good one at that. If they get a win by the judges, they will only have enough points to make themselves qualify for a redemption battle. They need a KO victory here in order to get into that bracket. Krakensflow has already managed to get into the bracket with 7 points, but they will want more points, of course, to secure themselves a better position. They were trying to use that little lifter of theirs to do damage. Oh! But the damage being done there by 23 Red. Look at that in one shot. Krakensflow, half the robots gone already. The side panel, the lance, the front wedge, all gone. The wheels on that side now exposed. And 23 Red looking promising here to get a good victory after all. Ganymede will be watching on tensely in the pits. They are hoping that 23 Red lose by a KO here, otherwise their campaign is finished. And it will be 23 Red going through. Squire trying to do something. Off comes one of those wheel caps. I'm not really too sure what Krakensflow can do now to 23 Red. I think the lifter has been completely incapacitated as well. Off comes the other front wedge of Krakensflow. Oh, there goes in the side panel as well. Krakensflow has been stripped down to the bare minimum. Now it's Squire's turn to take a few hits from that flywheel of 23 Red. It is such a formidable machine. You can see why it's seeded 7th for this series. It's just a shame it hasn't performed as well as we thought it would in this series so far. But if they can keep doing damage like this and keep performing like this, we could very well see them make the top 8 again, you know. I think Krakensflow are completely done for here. There's no real hope for them now. They are still mobile, so if they can keep moving, it will go to the judges. They will get an extra point out of it, and 23 Red will only get enough points to potentially get a redemption fight. Oh, comes one of those, I guess you could say, scoops. Are they scoops or are they claws on Squire? I honestly don't know. I genuinely have no idea. I wasn't given a script before this, so I have no idea. Oh, 23 Red close to the pit, but managing to push Squire back. Off comes one of Squire's wheels as well. And remember, because that mini-bot represents Krakensflow, any damage done to that mini-bot will also count against Krakensflow, and Krakensflow isn't even the one taking the damage! Oh! 23 Red nearly in the pit instead! Squire now go down! And that means once again, Krakensflow is left to fight alone, more damage being done. And I think Krakensflow have been completely splattered here. Completely incapacitated. No, they are still mobile somehow, some way. 23 Red, desperate to get a KO win. It's not going to happen. I'm not too sure if they're going to get enough points to make it through to the bracket. We'll find out after the judges have made the decision.
6.
Cease called. For me, 23 Red has won that one, but has it managed to win itself a place in the bracket? 23 Red absolutely splattered Krakensflow there. Squire took serious damage, but that was the first bit of damage. Look, the front plate and the side panel all ripped off. Squire then took serious damage as well, losing some of their hubcaps, losing one of their claws, and also losing one of its wheels as well, before eventually throwing itself down the pit on a missed attempt on pitting 23 Red. 23 Red absolutely splattered Krakensflow there. For me, there can only be one winner, but have they made the bracket?
And the winner, by unanimous decision, is 23 Red. Back-to-back Destructathons for 23 Red take them into the bracket and eliminate Ganymede to complete proceedings tonight. It's been a highly competitive night of action in the LEGO Wars arena, as every machine has made a decent claim for the bracket, but it was the determination of 23 Red and the early KOs scored by Crontcront that pulled them through, with Block Lobster in the running for the play-ins once more. That's all from us tonight, but join us next time as the Series 1 champions Panic Attack returns to the arena alongside the perennial underdogs World War M. For now though, I've been your host David Smeg, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, because it keeps hitting me.
Yeah.
Hey! It's still engaging. Still engaging, I'm still in this fight. Get 1 point for it because he can't. Oh no, he's hit me again. Oh, he's still hitting me. Any day now, Ethan Kurtz will stop hitting me again.
And it goes to the
Oh no,
judges.
Ethan Kurtz is still hitting me.
And it goes to the
Now you can
judges.
start counting it out.
Oh.
Or will you beat the count? Who knows?